Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. It is time now for the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin. America runs on Dunkin. We are pleased once again this week to be joined by Matt Trabold. Matt, thanks for coming on board.
Glad to be here.
We're going to start off talking about the Sutherland boys. Won a title last year. Maybe not expected a lot of them this year, but who knows, right?
Yeah, one of the top stories in Section 5 basketball last year was this Kevin Ryan-led Sutherland team and them upsetting East, who was good again this year, in that A2 final as a 6 seed, which is even huger. But the question coming into this season was, post-Kevin Ryan, what would these Knights be? This was a guy who was, not just for a couple years, but for 4 years in a row, was not only a starter, but a go-to guy for a pretty big-name program in Sutherland. And on top of that, they graduated a couple good role players, productive ones, John Messina, John Luther. The first thing you notice when you see this team is their sheer size. And we've talked about Victor before. I think they rival Victor for the tallest rotation in Section 5 right now. That means even their point guard, 6'4", D1 lacrosse commit Benedict DiGiovanni. So you got 6'4" there in the backcourt, and then 6'7" Owen Flisnick, who could be inside, outside with his scoring. A couple other like football sort of guys. 6'5" that can bang in the blocks down low. And right now, we'll see if there's any more upsets come postseason time. The 5 seed in Class A2, just a smidge better than last year when they went in.
Wow. Looks like a promising postseason run maybe for the Knights. Let's talk about now about Lions. And they lost, big loss, but still haven't slowed them down too much.
Yeah, kind of like Sutherland, Lions also graduated one of the biggest name players in recent memory around these parts for boys basketball. Justice Smith, who's a 6'5" point forward, one of those top 5 scorers when you think about what's going on in this section, in this sport, in these parts. But you really have to give them a lot of love because despite not having him this season, they've gone out to a 15-1 record to start the season. They've risen to number 4 in the state rankings. This is a big deal. I mean, you don't really see in terms of those smaller classifications, maybe in terms of year after year after year success on this team, I should say. And then you look at some guy last year with that same last name, Smith, Justin Smith, who is the younger brother of Justice, 6'3" kid, known in the past as being a defensive stopper with a little bit of scoring punch, but he really bulked up, became a tank in the offseason. He's the top option on this team. His right-hand man is a fellow junior guard in Horace Betts IV. Fantastic name. I want to meet the other 3. And he really provides a lot of driving ability, kind of like Justin Smith, in this offense, in this offensive attack. And then the coaches up front can really rely on another guy that's been in the program for a little bit, a tenured starting forward in Benji Kemp. It'll be fun to see what they do in postseason play.
Let's stay out of the metropolitan Rochester area for a little bit, and let's go girls this time, talking about Batavia.
Yeah, there's a theme here. Ryan Stefaniak, kind of like your Kevin Ryan, kind of like your Justice Smith. She's the big name, the tip-top talent in Section 5 that graduated flying last season for the Batavia girls. But that was a season that was still very successful, and they're kind of bringing that into this one. Last season, they got all the way to the title game against, it was an understandable loss because the Mid-Lakes team that they fell to was a very daunting one, very historical, got pretty far in state play. But no Ryan Stefaniak this year, but a couple current captains are really kind of adding this year to their storied career as a Blue Devil. That's 4-year varsity starter, or more so just a guard and a big name on this team in Mackenzie Regal, and then 5'11" post player, which especially for a Class B school, that's a big deal with that height in Emma Krolchik. So we'll see what they do right now. Currently at 11 wins, that's 6 wins over Class A schools, which is a big deal because they're only Class B1.
All right, awesome. Great stuff, Matt. Thanks very much. Back with more of the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College right after this.